Right, let's proceed with a look on hard disk performance factors. Of course, you want to look at that in assignment. Um, so I'll go through. This is what was expected of you. So if it happens that you face this question, these are the factors that you use to actually compare the performance of hard disk to drive. Right, we'll start by seek time. Right, seek time is measured in milliseconds. It's measured in milliseconds, and it's the time to take the head actuator to move the head arm or radio right arm from one track to the next. So you must understand that the hard disk drive is actually divided into tracks, sectors, and partitions. So in each and every sector, there are tracks. So the time it takes to move from one track, let's say we have track number one to track number two. Time it takes to move from track one to track two is called seek time. The time it takes to move from track one to track 1014, it's seek time. So we can't compare the time it takes to move from track 1 to track 2 and track 1 to track 40. So what we use is we use what we call average seek time. That is the one that we use to what? To compare the hard disk drive performance. Then average seek time is calculated from the drive performance of a number of randomly located requests. Modern current disk have an average seek time of 18 to 14 milliseconds. Then number one, access time, which also includes seek time and the time required to position the read or write heads on a particular track and to find the sector containing a particular location. Can I take you a little bit back here? Right, if we look at this our diagram, right, we can have this plot is divided into many sections. Right, in each and every sector it has some tracks. So, for example, if we have a particular location, let's say where this arrow is pointing, maybe there is a file called fundamentals of computer hardware. And let's say we have our platter positioned at this point. Seek time is the time that it takes to move from this position to allow this part of the computer to be in line with what? With the read or write arm. That is what? That's the first thing that will look seek time from one track to the next track, of which we said average seek time, that's the one that's going to be used. Then if we move from this point and now we have taken the point where this arrow is pointing, it's now under the read or write arm, and that time is a seek time, and we add the time it takes to retrieve what exactly is located on that particular location. It becomes now access time. It now becomes access time. Now let's move on. Let's move on. That was for access time. Then that is for access time. Then we also have what you call data transfer rate. And this is the amount of data that can be moved between the disk and the RAM in 1 second. Remember, the RAM is the computer's working space. So the amount of data that can be moved between the hard disk drive and the RAM in 1 second, it becomes what you call the data transfer rate. And the data transfer normally is given in terms of megabytes per second. So the higher the data transfer rate, the less time a user wait for software to load or for data to be retrieved. And basically, we have data transfer rates of 5 to 40 Mbps per second, megabytes per second, which are common in today's hard disk drive. So a hard disk drive with a higher data transfer rate is likely to retrieve data, or it's likely to load software faster, more than what? More than a hard disk drive without with a data transfer rate which is smaller. Then there is also what you call disk capacity. This is a very measurement criteria on how much data the hard drive can actually store. It's actually measured in gigabytes, of which there are two ratings for the disk capacity. There is the formatted and the unformatted. That is why, for example, if you have your flash disk drive, it's written 4 GB. If you plug it onto your computer, you would see it's saying something. It's the capacity, even if you format it, the capacity is 3 point something. It's not exactly 4 or 8 gigabytes. So there is a formatted, that's the one that we see on the computer. The unformatted, that's the one that is written on the label. Then there is also what you call data access time. That's the last one. It actually combines the data access time and the data transfer rate to provide a rating for the drive overall performance. It's just combining the data access time and the data transfer rate. Then it gives the overall performance for the drive. So basically, we have access time, we have seek time, we have disk capacity, we have data transfer rate, and also we have data access time. So these are the hard disk drive performance measures that you were expected to write in your assignment. So you guys stay guided. I'm sure for computer storage, I think we have done a little bit justice to the topic. So I can safely say I'm gonna move to the next section of the course outline. Now we are done with computer storage. Let's move on to something else. Um, I'm sure we're gonna touch on the motherboard. Then from the motherboard we touch on the chipsets. Then from chipsets we touch on the boot process, and we are done. So for this one, I'm sure I'm done. Let me also add it to your